It took 2 years to gain their confidence on our team, because they had a feeling that we are also like a government people who are coming with some scheme and will give them and go back without hearing what is the problem on the field. Slowly, with continuous meetings, continuous interactions, continuous deliberations, we could gain their confidence, and then we began a lot of advocacy meetings. Like every meeting we could take up one issue and discuss what could be done about this. It was not like we like a government scheme, we went with the money and say, okay, we want to do this for you and let's do it. So it was a different story. So community started responding to it. And then we worked with them and worked out a natural resource management action plan for each village. We were working with 5 villages there. And then started looking at the need which emerged during the discussion. We started networking with different departments. There were various schemes in government department, but there was no one to actually get every scheme to this particular location. So we tried and get those departments and ask them to come and do the trainings for community and show demonstrations. There were solar cookers demonstration, there were other demonstrations which were made, and then lot of activities, they got convinced and they picked, okay, this suits to my condition and I would like to take up this activity. Then we took next step, how to do it. Then lot of education awareness programs also simultaneously we were doing with various approach. Looking at the indigenous community, we were looking at what approaches we can take. And then capacity building to empower community for where they can take decision on their own, they can initiate a lot of things on their own. And then demonstration of technologies for the region. We thought because there were many people in the villages which were below poverty line, and they could not afford to take up these demonstration in their household. So with the community decision in a meeting, we decided we will do demonstration with those families who cannot afford this technology. Similarly, we were working also looking at indigenous knowledge the community had about the medicinal properties of plants, looking at various techniques they are using to preserve things. So those were documented simultaneously. Also agricultural diversity which community was following was also documented. These are some examples of how village meetings happened. We looked at the village dynamics also. It is very important when you enter in a village, there are dynamics, there are upper caste, there are lower caste, there is a wealthy people, and then you have to understand entire thing, and then women were not participating in these meetings. So we slowly kind of got them on board and asked them also that what is, because they are the people who are getting the head load from the forest, they were getting the wood. So they discussed and they said we need something which saves our time, where we can spend time at home and do some other constructive work. So slowly this entire need analysis and the NRM action plan and even area of skill building was also marked during these meetings. Then things emerged. This has not emerged at one go. This is I'm talking because it slowly emerged, because initially we worked on the energy interventions, then looked at the other interventions, then adopted the non-conventional energy options, then looking at livelihood practices, then organic agriculture, livestock management. These were slowly introduced there. Energy options, we looked at the actually improved stove, which uses less fuel wood. So those were introduced and was appreciated also by the community, because they were able to, and there was a lot of, there was less smoke in the household. That's why women also accepted it very willingly, and they started using, because family size was big. The time spent in kitchen was also quite large. So this was appreciated. Then some of the village members also opted for a different model of biogas, adopted to a particular region, because there are various models in the area, but each model was adapted for the region, not taken from the place where it has originated. Similarly, for agricultural area, the center worked with the agricultural university, where they were doing a lot of research in the field area, and those field interventions were linked with the community. And community found very simple techniques, very simple and easy techniques to be adopted in their own farm, and which helped them to reduce the level of irrigation, level of nutritional input. So that helped a lot in terms of the input which was going in the growing the agriculture. So such training visits and exposure visits were done. They were also because fishing was banned in the from area, so the community, the food habit has to be changed accordingly so that the nutritional requirement is met. So lot of other things were introduced where they were guided to do the backyard farming where they can get nutritional vegetables and fruits and other options. Similarly, community was also given training on livestock management because there was no idea on how do we manage the livestock. These are some of the examples where the trainings are happening and the consultations are happening with community. Each intervention was decided in consultation with community, and community opted, okay, we would like to go for this area. Another area which emerged was handicraft. Women were very good with the handicraft, and in consultation meetings we found that to make their products marketable, it is important to give them training, skill-based training. So skill-based trainings were introduced, and various products were introduced. You can see some of the products which these women are making, and this is also done through a tribal welfare ministry who came here and gave them training. So it's not only CE who was working, it was also various institutions who came on board as an RC and worked with the community. Then there was education and awareness activities where we used puppet shows and various folk media to work with the community and introduce them with the concept of biodiversity, because the education level is not that high, so you can expect them to understand biodiversity. So it was through various approaches where we got them on board. So there is when we look back and see the results, it's quite overwhelming for us, and we feel that we have a lot of good examples and good results out of the entire experience. There is a close connection they understand between the well-being of people and the park. So that is what we feel it's very important. They understand the village development and ownership, their involvement in the village development. Their participation of women made a lot of changes. It gave the ownership to the program. Also health status improved, handicraft and handloom skills improved their income generation. So on all the paths they got very good experience. We are still working in the area because we have worked only with 5 villages and only 2 villages could adapt at a certain level. So there are still more to do with the community. And this we have done with the support from an institution from Japan, that Kiden Nature Conservation Fund, and one more institution. And we are still working on a lot of other areas where the community has come to us saying that we would like some more programs and some more trainings in this area, and please introduce us to some areas where we can adopt. So the pressure has definitely come down from the park, which we initially began with when we started working in the area. So we feel that there is a long way to go, but whatever we have so far received, the response is quite overwhelming. And I hope this experience from India will be helpful for the Korean National Park Service participants. And though the context is very different, when I am listening from morning, everyone has a different context. The issues are different, where for our area it is basically community dependency on the park, and the education interventions are there, but they are in a different mode. Like school students come for a guide, eco tour or something like that, but not as a community having connection. So we are looking at community having connection with the park and having their ownership on the park. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Preeti Kanojia. It was a wonderful presentation. So we are behind the schedule, so I'm going to move to open discussion. If you have a question and comment to speakers, please ask a speaker in coffee break, right? So open discussion will be chaired by Dr. Johannes Czapka. Johannes Czapka is associate professor, Seoul National University. The open discussion subject on what can we do for ESD of national park and protected area. Please welcome Dr. Johannes Czapka.
I guess we have been long time here with wonderful presentations, a little bit dark room, so I recommend that we change a little bit the design of our collaboration here. At first, I would invite you that we go in 3 groups on these 3 tables. At second, I will ask you all to stand up and we meet here in front. At third, we will have discussion directly with all the speakers, including also with Duslo, who will come from Austria and will come afterwards, but I also invite him to take part into this discussion. To get ready for these all things, I will ask you first to clean these 3 tables, put away all the things you have in there, your private things. We need these 3 tables, and all people please stand up and come here to the green stage. Can you put out this one? Just switch out the light, that's all. Thank you very much. So please come here. Slowly Mark is moving. A nice Korean teacher is moving. The rest also please come up here. You have 30 seconds to come here. It's not about break. 29, 28, 27. Please, more light, not less light. More light, light. Yes, all light you have. Breaking the ceiling would be the best, and we have sunshine. But unfortunately, we can't. So everybody here? Buddy, Korea. Okay, so we're all here. Before we go into the group discussion, at first I would like to wonderful sound too. I would like to make a small circle, so maybe you come a little bit closer to me here and you come a little bit closer to me, and it's more easier to communicate to each other. Well, wonderful. Just to wake you up a little bit, a small examination. Thank you very much for holding like this. It's very easy. I know you really don't appreciate to make much moves, so we make very small moves. Okay, thank you very much. I need your hand later, for sure. So you all have a finger. What? Yes, exactly. We just need one finger. And the first thing which happens, obviously, is the finger is very heavy, so it will fall down. And then we move it in the direction of some person, like in this direction, for example. Is it possible? Okay, and then turn it back like shh. And then up. This is really, really hard. It's up. Okay, is it possible? Fall down. Oh, it's working. Wonderful. You're really experienced. Okay, then we can go on. Please. Shake a hand. It's very complicated. Try it with the other hand. Is it possible with the left hand or the right hand, whatever you use? Again, try. Shake, shake. Yes, relax. We have 2 fingers. Is it possible to fall it down like? handshake. Now, very complicated. One finger up, one finger straight. Okay, let's see. Wonderful, you're well experienced. Handshake, shake, shake, shake. It's very complicated. We try it, of course, with our small hands. Handshake, shake, 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 shake. Small finger here, small finger there. Wonderful. So we can start with a real big thing. Jink, 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 jink. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jink. Oh shit. One, two, three, four. Okay. So I may ask Mark, Linda to sit on that table. I may ask Preeti and Sankyang to sit on that table, and I may ask Mary Lou and Gustav to sit on that table, and I ask all the rest to circle around on one of those two tables that there are more or less the same number of people around the table. It does not matter if you are specialists in this field or another field, it's just to separate the people.
Get the seats when they're still here.
And then I need the microphone. Okay, are you more or less 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. Okay. I ask you a very, very simple question. But before that, I want to be very, very critical. I listened to all presentations until now, and I have somehow in my back head a little bit the feeling that people, if outside you tell them what you have told them, they don't really understand what it's all about. I listened to my grade students, one of them is here, telling ESD, it's so fuzzy, it's not clear. We listen to several talks now, what they all are offering. I'm very provocative now, especially for all Australian and Indian and these images. I have the image of a petrol station. You know, in the 1970s, when I went with my car to a petrol station, what did I get? Gas or petrol for my car. When I go nowadays to a petrol station, I can get there some gadgets, I can get there some drinks, I can eat there something, I can have a massage there, I can have everything on that. So, a national park, when I went there in 1970, it was clear there is a tiger or some wild animal or whatever. So I knew, I go to national park and I will see that. Now I'm listening today, very interested, what I also can get there. And maybe then I got a little bit confused. What is the national park now really? So we have two very fuzzy things. One is sustainable development. What is it really now about? And the other one, for what the hell is a national park today? Because it offers so much things, so what's the real thing of a national park? So we have two fuzzy concepts. And now you have these wonderful experts on each table who gave a speech today. So you have at first the chance to ask the question which you could not ask to this person beforehand on today. And at second, I ask each group, you have from now on, and I know it's exceeding a little bit the time, but you have from now on 25 minutes. And I ask you to find out the quality criteria for ESD in a national park. What is a real good criteria to say there is ESD in a national park? What does it mean? What is the real criteria to find out? What is the quality criteria for ESD in a national park? If you don't find a solution, it's fine enough. But at least just talk about what can it be? What can be such a kind of criteria to find out, to help people to understand in this very complex,